Ever feel like you put all this work into something like a website, but it's like throwing a party and no one shows up?
It's true. Happens
Uh,
all the time, right?
That's what's the point, you know?
Totally. And that's where understanding Google Search Console is like essential.
Yeah, and that's what we're diving into today, this whole Google Search Console thing. Um, might seem kind of techy at first glance,
It can seem that way, yeah.
but
Yep.
honestly, it doesn't have to be.
Not at all. It's like once you get it, it's like the secret decoder ring for how Google sees your site.
Okay, I like that, a secret decoder ring. So let's decode this then. What is Google Search Console, really?
So, in the simplest terms, think of it like your website's report card.
Ooh, grades. Now I'm nervous.
But instead of just a letter grade, it gives you this whole roadmap, right? It tells you how often your site talks up in search, what words people are actually using to find you, even if there are any errors holding you back.
Okay, so less scary report card, more like super helpful guide.
Exactly.
I can work with that. But be honest, is this something anyone can use?
Yeah.
Or do I need to, like, call up a tech wizard?
Nope. No tech wizards needed. It's completely free. And honestly, Google's made it pretty user-friendly, even for, the not so tech savvy amongst us.
Music to my ears.
Yeah.
So how do we get started with this whole thing?
All right. So first things first, head over to google.com/webmasters. That's your starting point.
Easy enough.
From there, you'll need to verify that you actually own your website, just to make sure everything's legit.
Makes sense. Don't want any website imposters running around. How do we do that?
They've got a few different methods. You can download a file, add a tag to your website's code, stuff like that. They walk you through it. It's not as complicated as it might sound.
So Google's basically like, here's what you do. Now prove you did it. All right, challenge accepted. I'm all about free tools that can help my website out. What kind of data can we expect to see once we're all verified and ready to roll?
One of the most valuable things is seeing what keywords people are using to actually find your site.
Hold on. So not just the keywords I think they're using, but what's really going on.
Exactly. You might be surprised, right?
Oh, absolutely.
This is how you uncover hidden opportunities. Like, say you've got a food blog, right? Focusing on healthy recipes, let's say.
Okay, I'm following.
But Search Console shows people are finding you through terms like easy weeknight dinners or kid-friendly meals. It's like, boom, there's a demand for that, even if it wasn't your main focus.
So use that info to my advantage. Write some blog posts around those keywords, reach a whole new audience.
Precisely. Direct line to your audience's interests. And speaking of audience, Search Console also shows you your click-through rate, your CTR.
CTR, huh? Sounds kind of financial, like something my stockbroker would say. What's the big deal about CTR when we're talking Google?
So CTR, it's all about how enticing your website looks in those search results. Let's say you're searching for the best running shoes, and a page pops up that says something like, top-rated running shoes for every runner.
Way more interesting than just shoes, that's for sure.
Right. That's going to grab your attention. The more clickable your title and description, the higher your CTR, meaning more people are clicking through to your site.
It's like that saying, first impressions are everything. High CTR means you're making a good one.
Nailed it. And the cool thing is, Search Console breaks it down,
Yeah.
shows you the CTR for different pages on your site, for different search queries, super valuable stuff.
Okay, I'm seeing the value here. So if a page has a low CTR, that's a sign I need to maybe rethink the title, the description, even the content itself.
You got it. It's like Search Console's telling you, hey, this page needs a little love. It's like a little SOS from your website, right?
Yeah.
Help me get more clicks.
Gotta love those little cries for help. But, okay, we were talking about those errors Google Search Console can find earlier.
Yeah.
What kind of red flags should we be watching out for?
All right, so one pretty common issue is indexing problems.
Indexing. Sounds complicated.
It's really not. Imagine you build this awesome room in your house, right? But then you forget to put a door on it.
Okay, so no one can get in. I see where you're going with this.
Exactly. Google can't get to it, can't show it to the world, even if the content's amazing. It's like, hey, great stuff, but how do we get in?
So Google Search Console is like my website's doorman, making sure everything's accessible.
You got it. It tells you which pages are indexed, which ones aren't, and even tries to give you a reason why. Maybe there's a tech issue, or maybe you accidentally told Google to ignore a page.
Oops, my bad, Google.
Yeah.
So it's not just pointing out problems, it's helping me solve them.
Exactly. Problem solving is definitely part of its skill set.
I'm starting to like this Google Search Console thing more and more. It's like that friend who tells you when you've got spinach in your teeth, direct but helpful.
100%. And, speaking of helpful, it can also flag things like, broken links, slow loading times, even if your site's not playing nice with mobile phones.
Oh, man, don't even get me started on websites that aren't mobile friendly. It's like 2024. Get with the program, people.
Right. And Google knows it. User experience is key these days, so they actually prioritize mobile-friendly sites in search results.
Makes total sense. So where does Google Search Console fit into all of that?
It'll actually show you how your website looks on different devices: desktop, mobile, tablets, the whole shebang.
No, no more guessing games.
Nope. And if there are any issues, images not loading right, text too small, you'll know about it.
This is amazing. We haven't even touched on that page experience report yet.
Oh, right. Yeah, that one's great. Gives you this whole breakdown of how users are experiencing your website, loading speed, interactivity, how stable it is visually.
So it's not just about getting people there, it's about making sure they have a good time once they are there.
Exactly. Google wants to send its users to sites that are, high quality, engaging, easy to use.
Happy website visitors all around.
Right. And the more you understand those factors, the better you can optimize your site, improve your ranking, attract more visitors.
I'm starting to feel like I've been missing out all this time.
Mm.
There's so much information here. And the best part is, it's all actually useful.
That's the goal, right? Empowering you instead of just overwhelming you with data.
Totally. Speaking of data, remember that tplssport.com website we talked about before? I'm really curious to see how all of this we've been talking about actually works in the real world, with a real example.
Perfect timing, actually. I think seeing how tplssport.com has been using Google Search Console will really bring everything together.
All right, let's break down this tplssport.com case study. Show me what you got.
Okay, so remember how we were talking about keywords, right? Like the actual words people are typing in.
Yeah, super important stuff.
Well, tplussport.com, they had this aha moment when they realized a big chunk of their traffic was coming from searches about certain teams and athletes, even though their site's broader than that.
Interesting. So even though that wasn't their main focus, people were still finding them that way.
Exactly. Like a total light bulb moment for them, It's like, wait a minute, we need to be creating content around this.
So instead of just general sports news, they could get more specific, more in-depth with those teams and athletes.
Yep. Things like player profiles, game recaps, all that good stuff. And guess what? Their traffic went way up after that.
See, data-driven decisions for the win.
Okay, but was that the only thing they used Google Search Console for? Or were there other, maybe not so obvious uses?
Oh, there's more. Remember we talked about those errors it can find?
Uh-huh, those pesky little things.
Yeah, well, it turns out tplssport.com, they had some broken links on their site. Search Console caught those right away.
Oh, broken links. Those are the worst. It's like clicking on a link and just nothing. Dead end. The worst. And they can really hurt your ranking. But because they were using Search Console, they fixed those broken links super fast.
It's like having a website cleanup crew on speed dial.
Right. And on top of that, they even used it to make their site more mobile-friendly.
Which, like we said before, is so important these days.
Essential. They found out some of their images were loading super slow on phones, which, no one wants to wait around for that.
Nope. I know I've left a website if it takes too long to load, especially on my phone.
Totally. So they use Search Console to optimize those images, make everything load faster, smoother, all that.
And I bet that made people stick around longer, right?
Yeah, their bounce rate went down, more engagement, all good things.
Okay, so this is amazing. We started with a website that was kind of lost in the internet sea, and now it's sailing smoothly, all because of Google Search Console.
It's incredible what a difference the right tools can make.
Totally. So as we wrap things up here, what's the biggest thing you want our listeners to take away from this whole deep dive?
Honestly, information is key, especially when it comes to your website. And Google Search Console, it gives you that information, tells you what Google's thinking. It doesn't matter if you're a tech pro or just starting out. This tool can help you level up your website game.
I love it. Knowledge is power and all that jazz. So next time you're feeling lost in the internet world, remember what we talked about today.
It's all right there waiting for you. You just got to unlock it.
Google Search Console, your website's new best friend. That's a wrap on this deep dive, everyone.